Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot. Oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls. I'm your host, Patricia Baker. I am here with my co-host all the way from Tucson, Miss PK. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Enjoying our cooler day today.
You have a cool day. We have a warm one. I think it was about
it's in the 90s.
90s. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to be nice. I know what's coming. This is cool.
Oh, goodness. Wow.
Yes.
Well, we have one of your dear friends on the show tonight.
Yes, we do. I'm very happy that she's joining us tonight.
I know. We're honored again. And she's a reader, and she offered to do free readings for anybody who wants to call in during the live show. So anybody listening out there, if you want to call in, the phone lines are open, and you can call in at 801-556-9477. That's 801-556-9477. Oops, I'm sorry. That's not the right number. Forget that number.
I think that number's wrong. How about 855-472?
472-5483. I'm sorry.
I like that number better. It's a winner.
It is. It's a winning number.
It is, because we get Dawn.
So sorry about that other phone number. Just forget it. But this is the one to call in, 855-472-5483.
Good job.
Our producer will help you get on the show, and you can ask Dawn your question.
Mm-hmm.
But first, let's introduce our guest, Astrologer Dawn. She was born in England and is living in the USA with all of us, and was fortunate to grow up in a family who understood the metaphysical world. From a young age, Dawn was exposed to a wide variety of experiences and lifestyles that allowed her to observe people and tap into her natural intuition. Dawn studied astrology with Julian Lee, Eugene Moore, and many others. She was trained in natal and relocation astrology, advanced tarot, as well as an understanding of the basics of the Venus sequence, human design, and numerology. Dawn is a past president of the American Tarot Association. Now, Astrologer Dawn believes that when you follow who you are at your core, which can be seen in your astrological and human design charts, you can customize a life experience that works for you. A customized lifestyle includes monetizing your passions, talents, skills, experience, knowledge, wisdom, and education to bring joy and fulfillment. A life in flow consists of success financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically. At age 36, Dawn created Astrologer Dawn and Evolving You, and embarked on the entrepreneurial journey of a metaphysical practitioner and business coach. Dawn's sessions include a blend of the alternative, traditional, metaphysical, and practical to assist, validate, and empower the client's journey. Astrologer Dawn continues with her commitment to share her wisdom, intuition, knowledge, tools, and resources, both alternative and traditional, to empower you to evolve and become more aware of your choices in both your personal and professional life. Now, if you want to know more about who you are and where you are, you can call in tonight and you can get a mini reading from Dawn. And if you want your own private reading, you can reach out to Dawn and get your own private reading. And she can be reached at 520-419-5419, 520-419-5419, or you can email her at dawn@astrologerdawn.com. So Dawn, welcome to the show.
Hello, ladies. How are you doing today?
Doing fine, my dear. It's nice seeing you.
I love that introduction. I'm just nodding as Patricia's, speaking. I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. That's me. Oh yeah, that's me.
I knew
That's
it.
me.
I've known you forever, and I know it's you.
I was going to say, you must have known me for 28 years now. I think.
Well, I was just saying, your eldest is what, 25, and it was before him.
No, my eldest.
No, that's the youngest is 25.
No, my youngest is 24.
Okay.
So Zach's 28. So yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
It's longer than I thought.
I know. Time flies, doesn't it?
Jeez, what a handsome young man you have. Well, you've got two handsome
I've
sons.
got two handsome young men. Yes.
Yes, you do.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness for that.
That's so we bring the girlfriends out.
Yes, unfortunately.
Mhm.
It's a bit of both, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yes,
a bit
it
of
is.
both. Just looking at your charts, just seeing what's going on. I've been looking at them
Oh,
just to have a quick look at the two of you just before sort of anything big happens.
okay.
And for you, Patricia Baker, well, we'll just call you PK. I'll call you PK, although that's strange for me to call you PK, but I'll call you PK. Patricia, you've got a lot of massive change that is coming around relationships. As Pluto, which is that planet of really digging in and finding out what's underneath everything, moves into the sign of Aquarius, you're going to have some unexpected relationships come into your life, leave your life. Some unexpected things happen in your life around relationships, because that seems to be the biggest thing. And that's for the next 20 years. So you might find that some people that you have a lot in common with, seems like all of your life, or suddenly you'll go, I don't think I've got the time for them anymore. And then new people will come in unexpectedly, which you'll have a lot of time for. So that's a big thing that's going on for you. And then, of course, PK, yours is going through the first house for the next 20 years. So it's, what do I need for me, myself, and I? You've had some sicknesses.
Yes.
Hopefully they will abate, because this is making sure you take care of you. But it's not just about taking care of your body. It's about taking care of all the things in your life so that you're protected and that you're taken care of. So any stress has to go. If you're dealing with stressful situations, you need to look and see, how is this benefiting me? You may have to just put a moratorium, like put the mute button on and not respond to people.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way as well for you, is to do that, because there's definitely some change that needs to take place. Now, I know you've had some sicknesses over the past few years. You could find yourself becoming more healthy, which we would think is crazy, because as we age.
I like that idea.
But there could be some things that actually heal themselves. A lot of that is going to have to do with the stress that you need to remove from your life. Whatever that stress is. It could be personal, professional, it can be anything, but you will know what that stress is. And so it's important for you to have a stress-free life, take care of your body, take care of your mind, soul, and to find some inner peace so that you can put your hands up to people and go away. Off you go. I don't need this.
I love that kind of talk. I'm going to tape this and blare it out over the house.
Yeah. Yes. That's what you need. You need when anybody comes on your property, you need the light to go on and then the vocal thing to come out.
Good idea.
Please leave now. I have a big dog, even though you don't.
If not, I'll have him call you and you can get him. How's that?
Exactly. So, we're going to have a lot of changes by the end of the year. Obviously, we go in Pluto, which is a huge thing right now, is going to go in and out of Capricorn and Aquarius. Capricorn is all structure. It's usually male oriented as well. Whereas Aquarius is all about freedom and humanity and including everybody. So we're moving away from the institutions that have been created in the last few hundred years and looking for new resources. It doesn't mean we're going to try and fix things. There's going to be new things that comes along. Just like that, there'll be a new money system at some point, which my sons are like, oh, that's crypto. I'm like, no, we've already got crypto. It's something new that we don't know about.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something new that we'll know about, that many of us will go to, that bypasses banks, because of all the changes that are going on. The institutions are the things that are affected.
Right.
So government, whether it's local or federal, religion, that's undergoing an extreme change, schools or education, let's just say education as a whole, medical is undergoing a huge change. And it's more looking at, we have an opportunity to look at what works and what doesn't work for us individually. It's much more about the individual as we move forward. Like, what works for me may not work for you too. That's okay. We need to come to some more acceptance of everybody's views. Just because somebody has a different view to them does not make them a bad person. It just means they have a different view. That's
exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Right.
But remember, since the year 2000, we've been in the millennium of women, and we're only 24 years into it. So by the end, by 3000, that's when we'll come together and things will work a lot better. So, when women get a bit agitated about why aren't things moving quicker, we're only 24 years into the 1,000 years that we're here to have women be extremely empowered, more prominent in the way that we fix the world, I guess, because we are fixers, even though men are usually the ones that, if you tell them a problem, instead of them patting you on the shoulder, they've already got 7 ideas of how to fix it. Well, we're going to become a little bit more like that as well, but ours is going to be in a different way. It's going to be lots more groups of women that gather together to make changes, whether it's local or national, but it's going to come down to women. It really is going to come down to us,
Right.
that we're the ones that need to make the biggest changes. Sometimes that's by stopping doing something or doing something. Don't know which way it is. It can be either way. But individually, it's about us having freedom. That's the big Pluto in Aquarius. Freedom, freedom, freedom for the individual. So we need to, get clear about what something is for us individually, and not try and put that on other people. When you're with your tribe, they're going to feel the same way as you anyway. But if you come across people that don't believe the same as you, that's okay. Just listen to what they say and recognize they have the freedom to believe what it is that they want to believe. Now, I'm basically talking about westernized countries because, of course, we already know there's no freedom in Iran,
Right.
Iraq, any of those countries that are still controlling women. Yeah, we have a little bit of that going on in this country. It's not going to work, though. It might have worked for a little while, but women are too powerful. And plus, we are 52% of the population. So that's not going to
Good
work.
idea.
That's not going to work for very long. Women are going to determine what works for them. And it's just going to take time. That's all.
Yeah. From 2000 on, it becomes about the women.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and if women were in charge, like Susan Lawrence says, absolutely. If women were in charge, things would be different. I cannot see me sending my children to kill PK's children.
No.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Women don't tend to do that. We don't tend to want to kill other people's children. Men have no problem with that. I don't know if it's because they don't give birth. I don't know what that is.
That might have a lot to do with it. They don't have to go through the pain.
Exactly.
So they don't feel anything.
Exactly. So I don't know what it is, but it's usually men that start wars. And that's all over the macho thing. Whereas women don't really care about that so much. We're very good at working together. Women do very well working together. And plus we're mainly communicators. We will talk about what's going on, our feelings about something. If we need help, we'll call a friend. Men are much more isolated. So they're going to have to come into our world a little bit. They're just going to have to come into our world a little bit more because we've got to work things out together, So, and Pluto is going to make a big change. We're also going to have we'll probably have some kind of vaccine for certain cancers. It's going to be suddenly really, oh my goodness, we've cured Parkinson's, with an injection, because the medical world is going to expand over the next 20 years as well. So it isn't just institutions, but it is also medical. So science is going to be really big in the next 20 years, and discovering things that make life a lot easier. Not just that, but our money system, as I said, there's going to be an upset around the money system and the way that we earn money because of the freedom, this whole idea of not working and, not working in an office, but being able to work from home. That's going to stay around. Because it doesn't make any sense if you can do your work from home exactly the same as you can do in the office. Why would you want to have to drive and dress up? Like, what's
you get to save money as well because of transportation, etc.
Exactly. And that's another thing. We'll expect some new vehicles. I mean, we're already seeing vehicles that drive by themselves. They're not quite working properly yet. I know they're not working properly yet, but they will. We might have a new train rail in this country as well, railways. Yeah, they might make a bit of a bigger impact in the country on traveling. We'll have to see, because we've got 20 years for this. But the biggest thing is humanity, that we're going to be looking at our actions, and what we do could affect other people. And the other thing is migration's not going to stop. Sorry, countries. And this applies to all countries. So England, who's trying to send refugees to Rwanda for some reason, why you'd send anybody to Rwanda, which is the home of genocide, I don't know. But the British current government has decided that all asylum seekers will go to Rwanda. Hey, maybe they can do that in this country, seeing as they want to do something like that. But it's not really going to work. That's not going to work, because migration is happening because of climate change, okay? People are going to move from where it's no water, no food, no way of growing anything, to places that they can. Expect by 20 years also, and people don't like to hear this, but we're going to have an international monetary fund. There's going to be one bank. Doubt whether there'll be borders, doubt whether there'll be passports or anything like that. People will be able to move around the world. And if not 20 years from now, then 20 years after that. It's more like not my kids' generation, but the ones that are just born right now. They're the ones, by the time they reach 15, are going to get more involved with looking at what's going on around the world. And like, well, of course, those people have to move. There's no food. There's no water. Would you expect them just to lay down and die? Or the women are being abused. Of course, they're going to try and move somewhere. And it's not always going to be America. So that's the other thing. There's not, just because we have migration happening in this country, every country has it as well. And so it's going to be all around the world where we're shifting because of things that are going on, And so what we need to do is be welcoming to everybody, because unless you're proved to be a serial killer, you're welcome.
We've had a few of those.
We've had a few of those, but it's like, let's give people a chance. And we don't know. I mean, we're going to have a lot of problems in this country if we don't allow people in. We're already experiencing it in Florida.
Let me ask
oranges.
you a question, Dawn. I mean, I know you're talking about a massive change. We've had a lot said about one world government. Nobody's big on that unless they're part of it and the elite. But here's another question. We have a lot of technology that's coming our way, as you said. And usually that type of technology is coming from some type of ET contact. We've had a lot of reverse engineering going on over the years that the government has denied, but yet we know that has happened. We've seen huge jumps in certain areas. But one of the things that remains a mystery is talking about it, disclosure. What do you see happening with that? Because I would think for all this one world stuff to try to come together, there's going to be another element involved like that.
Yeah. Well, we will learn more about what else is out there. We most definitely will, because people will keep asking questions.
Yeah.
And as long as people keep asking questions, the more people that keep asking questions, the more that the authorities, whoever they are going to have to fess up to stuff. It's going to take time because it's a generational thing. I mean, it's unusual, and I'm not saying you're old, Patricia, but it's unusual. It's more of a young person's thing where they'll go fight for it and say, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. You must have been getting that technology from somewhere else. That, you know, where are you keeping the people that have visited the earth that are not of this planet? The young people, the younger generation is going to be more pushy on that. So it's not usually Patricia and I are the same generation. PK is the generation ahead. So but all of us here, we're interested, but we don't have the power yet. It's going to be the next generation that has the power to get more answers. There'll be more stories about things, people discovering visitations, and they'll want to talk about it. And the more people that talk about it, the more people will want to know, well, what does the government know about this? And how come they're not telling us? Now, we're only talking about the American government, of course, because that's really all we can talk about.
Right.
Because we all live in America. But other governments, same issues, you know, they all know something. They're just not telling us, like we're babies, like we need to be protected. When we don't, we need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
That gives them the right to own it. I mean, if you look at the Vatican coming out with their latest statement, everybody's jockeying for a position to own the supernatural.
Yeah.
And that's what it appears to us that's what they're doing. And it's really offensive to us because the supernatural doesn't belong to the Vatican and it doesn't belong to the government. It belongs to all of us.
Yeah. It doesn't belong to a religion at all. Has nothing to do with religion.
Yeah. This is about, our show is where paranormal is normal, that there's nothing odd or strange. There's just things that we don't understand yet. But that's why, we bring people like you and everybody else to discuss all of this and give us some insight. But that's the way we look at it. And that's the show.
It's going to take time because we've got to get away from this. We've got to go away from the Capricorn energy first.
Oh.
Because the Capricorn energy, it's old. It's all old. It's old. Women should be at home. Women should be at the kitchen or the bed. It's all that crap.
It's back to the pearls of the vacuum.
Really. And it's like, if you want to live like that, that's fine, but nobody should be forced to. We're moving away from that kind of structure into one that's of a lot more freedom. But it also brings up a lot more questions. There's people asking a lot more questions. I'm watching Resident Alien at the moment. My favorite show ever. My favorite show ever. I'm on season 3 now. And I've watched season 1 and 2 so many times, but season 3 just came out and I'm like, I love it. And then I've had my kids watching it with me and they're like, well, there are aliens. And I'm like, yeah, I know that, but I just don't think that they're Alan Tudyk, who's the actor who's playing the role. And maybe they are like that. I said, but wouldn't we be pretty aware if somebody was that different? I said, it's much more likely that they just blend in, that people from another planet just blend in. They're not stupid. They know how to blend in.
If they want to blend in, they do. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
definitely.
right. If they want to blend.
Yeah.
It's like when I was watching the graphics for the show opening and I see the alien, I'm like, oh, it's gray. Because I'm watching Resident Alien. I'm like, she's got a picture of a gray. Where did you get a picture of a gray from? And I believe that there are all different, there's life in lots of other places. Unfortunately, humans think too much of themselves to think that they're it. And
there's much more.
There's much more out there than we know. And Aquarius energy is opening us up more to that, which is great, which is what this Pluto in Aquarius is going to do for the next 20 years. We're going to be much more open to people's experiences.
Right. Well, let me ask you this too, John. Let's get back to, if you don't mind, we can revisit all of this, but How about a reading for Chanel, our fabulous producer?
Oh, that would be great.
Look at what's
Mhm.
going on and what will be going on for Miss Chanel.
Is this personal or professional? I'm going to use cards this time. One of my decks is personal. One of my decks is professional. So is it a personal or professional question?
What do you want, Chanel?
Well, hi, ladies. Thanks for
Hello, sweetheart.
Oh boy, I'm not sure which direction I want to go. If I want to go personal or professional.
What does your intuition tell you?
Probably personal.
Personal. That's what I was getting. Good. Good job. You read my mind.
Do you have a specific question?
Yeah. What should I do about my music career? I guess that's
That's professional.
not necessarily professional. It's kind of personal. I'm not sure.
That's what I'm going to do.
both.
I'm going to do both for you. I'm
Well,
going to do both because that's just easy. I'll do 3 cards from each because that will tell me you need to stop sitting on the fence, honey. That's the first thing you need to do is stop sitting on the fence. You're either in or you're out.
Mm-hmm.
You're either doing music or you're not. And it doesn't mean you can't do other things. But for some reason, and this could have been a message that you've heard, like, oh, you'll never make any money, or that's not a real career. Why don't you go get a real job? And then you can do that on the side. So is anybody saying that to you?
No.
Or you saying it to
I'm
you?
sure in my past, but yeah, what you're picking up could be things that I may have said to myself.
Yeah, because to me, the Hanged Man is like you're stuck. You're stuck for some reason that you're not. I don't know if it's hearing what you need to hear or you're not taking any action, but you're going to need to take some. You got the Tower card here as well, which is massive change. So if you put yourself in that arena, doing what it is that you want to do, are you a writer, singer,
Both.
musician?
Yeah,
Okay.
both. And I play guitar as well.
So can we see you somewhere on YouTube?
No, I don't have anything out right now, and that's where I'm at. Is I have at least an album's worth of music that's ready to be recorded. It's just a matter of
You doing it?
recording it. Yeah.
Well, get your YouTube channel and get out there and sing because you're going to get a lot more eyes on you and you just do not know. It's like Justin Bieber was discovered by Usher because Justin Bieber was playing in a subway. That's how he got discovered by Usher, who signed him immediately. Yeah. People get, when you get out there and put yourself out there, and it seems like there might be some fear around that, because you're procrastinating. So, and you don't need to, because from what I'm seeing here, you're going to be successful. So maybe there's a fear of that. Well, what does that look like? And also this other thing about stop worrying about what the next thing is. Like the only thing you need to do now is get your music out there. If you can do it on a YouTube channel, great.
Super.
That's it. Because the big stuff will follow.
Well, that's exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you for that.
You are welcome. You are welcome. I think it's tough, when we're younger, of taking a leap of faith, depends upon how we've grown up as well. But having that leap of faith, it's funny because I'm supposed to be recording something and not right this second, obviously, because I'm doing this with you guys, but I'm supposed to be recording something and I keep procrastinating on it because I don't want to be on screen because I don't want the Oprah thing where everybody focused on how fat Oprah was.
Oh.
And yes,
Dawn.
And so
you're beautiful.
Well, I went to see Tim, who is my radio guru, and he said to me, then just record it in audio. I was like, oh, I can do that. Like I'd never even thought I could just do an audio thing. And then today I was laughing. I was like, you're going to put lipstick on. You're going to make sure you're dressed appropriately. You're going to. I'm like, okay, if I can do it for this show, I can do it for myself.
Yeah.
What did it take you?
Good point.
What did it take me? 10 minutes of wetting my hair down, getting the hairdryer out, changing my top, putting some lipstick on. Like, how long did that take? Not a lot. So this show has given me the inspiration to then do this next thing that this radio people have asked me to do. And
Excellent. See how proud I am of you. You're doing
Thank
what
you.
you're supposed to for a change.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, oh, wow. But inspiration comes from all different places.
True.
When I realized we were going to be on screen, I'm like, oh, funny, funny, funny. Like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm going to have to look presentable rather than being in my PJs. And I was like, it's just the universe saying to me, look, if you can do this,
Right.
you can go record the thing that you need to record for this radio show. I'm like, yeah.
Just remember, it only has to be from the waist up.
That's what I was thinking. Because my son just said to me, oh, you look nice from the top. And I go, yeah, I got shorts on. Nobody's going to see me sitting in shorts. I have no shoes on. I said, why would I need to?
You're in Arizona. You need shorts.
Yeah. And in Arizona, you need shorts. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ooh, personal reading.
Okay. Well, thank you for speaking with Chanel. And
You're welcome.
That was great. She's
I
a sweetheart.
Florence here saying personal reading, please. Susan, did you want to call in and speak to John directly? The number is 855-472-5483.
Because
Or
otherwise, how am I going to? Well, I can do it without.
you can do it
talking to
without the phone?
her.
Okay.
Of course I can. But it's nicer. I like to hear the voice. I like to hear the voice as well. But
It's
I
important.
can do it without it.
Mhm.
And plus, I can do a personal reading there. I just have no idea what it is that she's focused on, unless it's money, unless it's a lot of money.
That relationship, right?
Yeah, well, that's a personal thing as well. She's got the Queen of
Mhm.
Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, so there might be something financially going on with her at the moment.
Birthday too, 6/5/1953.
Yeah, that doesn't help because I'd have to run a chart for her, and that would take me like 3 minutes. So much better. Health. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Maybe that's to do with money as well.
Mhm.
Ooh, you have something that you need to take care of health-wise. Either you're doing it now or you're resisting doing it, because I've got the Ace of Wands upside down. So that's usually some kind of resistance to something, because it's going to bring about a big change for you. But it's the best thing that you could do. So there is something you're supposed to be doing to make a change in your health. When you do that, it's not going to be the worst thing. It's not going to be bad like you think it's going to be. You've got the phoenix rising out of the ashes. So it's like you're going to be able to put the health issues behind you and move forward. Yeah. So I'm wondering if you're telling yourself something that's stopping you. I wonder what the fear is that's stopping you from doing what's necessary. And also you need to make sure that you see a female doctor. I've got a female doctor here.
Mhm.
So that's going to give you more peace and serenity. And it could be even something like, if you haven't yet, it may be something like a hysterectomy. It could be something like that, which you're going to be actually fine. You're going to be really good afterwards. There's something that needs to happen that there's a little bit of a fear over, but it needs to happen. And this is within the next 6 months. So you may be concerned about your health right now, but nothing's up. Something's coming up. Find a female doctor. That's what makes me think it's also something to do with our female organs as well.
Mhm.
That's what it feels like. It's something to do with that. But you're going to feel so much better, so much healthier, lighter in a way. Now, you may have to do some things before you have whatever the surgery is. Maybe you need to lose some weight. Maybe you need to put on some weight. Don't know. But there's some changes that need to happen. Maybe there's medication you need to get off of or get on. But those, it's like follow the steps, because there is something big that's coming. Fibromyalgia.
Mhm.
You fear doing much. Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, it's very debilitating. Fibromyalgia is.
Right.
But it's okay. There's still many things you can do. And talking is one of them. This is an opportunity. Maybe there's a fibromyalgia group that you need to get involved with, so that you all can talk about your experiences. It could be one of the things that is resolved, because it is also relatively new known disease in the last 20 years. So with Pluto in Aquarius, there could be some kind of solution to that. People with fibromyalgia are missing blah, blah, blah in their body. That's what we need to, manufacture for them. So there could be some kind of answer to this that reverses it even just a little bit. Yeah, even just a little bit. And working on your fears, because if you are fearful, you can't have faith. And I'm not tying that to religion. I'm just tying that to belief. Okay.
Mhm.
You can either be in fear of something or you can have faith that you're going to be okay. You can't have both. And so I'd like to see you have more faith in yourself at finding the answers that you need to live a freer life. That might mean getting rid of some people in your life as well if they're giving you a rough time or them causing stress, because you need the least amount of stress possible so that you can spend your time doing what's necessary. I just don't get this as continuing to be debilitating. It seems like something's going to happen that you're going to go, oh, nah, didn't hear about that before. So Star card is nice because the Star card is peace and serenity. So it's like after you troop through some more things, you're going to have more peace and serenity.
Well, that sounds good for her.
Yeah. She's going to have to do lots of research.
Mhm.
Lots of research, lots of involvement, but finding groups of other women so that you are all talking about things together. Because you might hear, thank you, Susan, you might hear from somebody that you go, oh, I never thought about that. That's an interesting way to, or I've never used that. It's like when I was pregnant and I'd never even heard of using lavender for bringing on my contractions?
That's right.
Trisha told me. So I put the lavender in the bath and the next day I had my baby. I mean, it was that quick. Yeah. So, we learn things all the time from people. And so that's why, again, groups of women, very, very important.
Right.
Because we have an ability to talk and we love to share our own experiences. And in those experiences, we can take that from somebody else and go, oh, I think I'll try that. That sounds like a good thing. So, yeah, peace and serenity. That's what we all really want anyway, isn't it? Peace and serenity.
The truth?
But you brought up something else that was very interesting in what you said about something missing, because there are some researchers now that are coming out and saying that all of these autoimmune diseases, each and every one of them, have something missing, like some severe deficiency, a mineral deficiency, I don't know, some vitamin deficiency. And I've questioned them on it, but nobody's given me a list yet. But there may be one in process that would be helpful. Yeah. To anybody and everybody with an autoimmune disease, because they're very tricky. They're very debilitating. I mean, they're all a nightmare. Yeah. And yet there are some people that have at least gotten close to remission. Yeah. But this connection between a severe deficiency in a mineral, an amino acid, or a vitamin may be a key.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to keep searching. If there's something that is affecting our own bodies, it gives us more of an impetus to really look into it and get answers, talk to other people who have the same thing, people who've had it longer than you, people who've had it a shorter time than you. It's like, have those conversations, because you don't know what somebody else is doing that you might go, I never heard of that. Let me go get tested for that. Or let me go and get that particular vitamin and let's see what happens. It's like when I had to start taking blood pressure medication again, terrible cramps in my legs. Of course, I probably wasn't drinking enough water. Seem to have fixed that now. One of my clients said to me, have you ever thought about taking magnesium? And I was like, no. Took magnesium. So I went out and got some magnesium and sure enough, the cramps stopped. And I'm like, okay, so that's what I was missing. The magnesium. So, and it was a conversation with somebody else. I didn't just keep it to myself, because that doesn't work. We've got to communicate. We've got to say what's going on so that other people can say, oh, my cousin had that. This is what she tried. Have you tried that? Because we are triers as well. We like to try out a lot of different things to see what works. And some of those things will work for people, and especially with autoimmune diseases. They've got to try out a variety of things to see what works for you on an individual basis.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's great.
And it would be nice if we got some help from, another world.
I think so.
God knows we could use it.
We could really use it.
Yeah.
It'd be like because it's from the outside
Right.
looking in. It's
Well,
from the outside.
there have been some stories about people that have had UFO experiences and they've been healed. In fact, we're going to be
Mhm.
the authors on the show to talk about it.
Wow.
It doesn't happen all the time. However, it has happened a number of times. So it's something worth exploring and asking for help. Why not? They're advanced in many ways. I'm sure they know the key.
Further than we are.
Yeah.
See, and I know I saw a UFO when I was probably 12, somewhere around there. But it was two discs in the sky. And I said to my grandmother, I didn't know airplanes were round. And she said, they're not. And then she went back in the house, and I'm like staring at it, and it's both of them. Then they moved apart, then they moved together, and then apart again. And then all of a sudden, they were gone.
Right.
I was like, well, that's weird. I wonder what that was. And then my grandma's like, oh, it might be a helicopter or something. And I just accepted it being 12 years old, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. But I always knew it was something else, and I didn't know what it was. I just didn't want to be probed. And I still don't.
In case you're thinking about leave me alone.
Right? Yeah, in case you're listening.
No
I don't want
No way. Yeah.
No probing.
I have a question on this subject, Don, and we were talking off the air this morning. I had several experiences. I am not aware of much about them. I know some things, but not much. And I was wondering if your reading could help me to get to the bottom of it, or just give me a little more information to go forward with this.
A little more information in terms of whether you actually experienced it, because you did.
Oh, I know I did. Yeah.
I think it's more about explaining it to other people who are just sort of going, oh, isn't she sweet? Isn't that cute?
Not anybody about it, but on the show I do. But it's more about finding out any more of the details that would lead me to a full recollection rather than partial. Because I remember bits and pieces. That's it.
Have you been hypnotized yet?
No. I haven't.
Okay, so that's the direction you need to go. You need some hypnosis, and you need it from somebody who has a similar belief to you. It's got to be somebody, and maybe even somebody who's had an experience that and it doesn't matter whether they remember that experience or not, but that's the person through the hypnosis that there's going to be a shift for you that will give you a little bit more information, because I've got happiness here and success of doing something that you haven't done before, that you might be uncomfortable with. You don't know how it works. What's going to happen? Can I come out of this? All of those kind of questions. And actually, it will be very good for you, but it does need to be with a specific woman who I don't know. It needs to be. So if that specific woman is listening, if you are a hypnotherapist, and you've had any experiences of, I was going to say people from other planets, but they're not people. So beings from other planets, or having an experience yourself of even just seeing, like I did. I'm not a hypnotist. I don't work in that arena. But please contact Patricia Baker, because she desperately needs to have some of this shifted from your being. It's like, it feels like there's like you've got a piece of metal somewhere that's blocking you knowing. And we need that metal removed.
Yes.
We need it. Yeah, we need it removed, most definitely, because that's going to be important.
Yeah.
But and you will, if you put out, like we just did, but again, put out to your newsletter, Patricia, I'll put it out to mine. Next time I put something out, I shall say, is anybody, because I have people that are hypnotherapists, but has anybody had any other world experiences? Anybody, seen any UFOs? Or please contact me so I can pass your information on. Again, this is the power of groups of women.
That's true. That is so true.
I cannot emphasize how important this is going to be going forward. Right. Of women finding their tribes. Doesn't matter. When I say tribes, it might sound horrible. No, we're in tribes.
No, not
we
at
are
all.
in tribes. And so we have to find our tribe. So we have to decide or get clear about what we have to offer individually when we go to the tribe. so that we can, everybody's got something to offer, and everyone needs to offer something slightly different. But that's what makes up a cohesive tribe. And it will be tribes of women, of course. I'm sure men will have their own tribes, or they already have.
They always
Haven't they always? It's like when people say to me, how come you don't coach men? And I say, because I want to empower women. Men have been empowered for long enough, and I don't need to be empowering them anymore. I'm like, I'm good. They've been empowered enough. I want to empower women now to get what they want, do what they want, be who they are, live a life that works for them. Men have always done that.
Dawn, when somebody comes to you for a reading,
yes,
you tell them you want to know if it's going to be the astrology reading or a tarot reading.
No, I do all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I do astrology, tarot, and human design, and then I've been a life coach for 27 years as well. So there was only 400 of us coaches in this country when coaching started in this country. There's like 32,000 now. So I'm one of the originals.
Right.
And so I add a bit of coaching in there as well, because a lot of times, people will say things to me that just my coaching comes up, like, what stopped you from doing that? Or how would it be more helpful if you could do this or this? But most of the time I'm looking at not only who they are. So yes, Patricia, your sun sign is in Leo and your Pluto is in Leo, but that doesn't make you a Leo because you've got 3 planets in Cancer. So you're a nurturer. You've got that nurturing piece in you as well. You've got 2 planets in Libra. It makes you a people person. There is that. You've got some Virgo in you as well. Pretty fussy when it comes to who you're married to or live with. And they better be tidy. They better be tidy because you're not cleaning up.
Oh, no.
They better be tidy. Traveling long distance. That's funny, traveling long distance, because when you're talking about long distance, we might be talking about up there. That's long distance too. But long distance long distance travel is very good for you as well. So you're not this complete Leo. If you had your first 4 planets in Leo, then you would be, but you're not. So, we've got to look at ourselves as individuals. What are the gifts and talents that we have individually? And I can see that in not only your natal chart, because I can also see what you're here to work on, but also in your relocated chart. So I remembered you said where you lived. Well, I'm like, there's no town called that. So I'm going to have to look for a town. So I did. I found a town that put me in the middle of where you told me. I mean, you must love where you live now. Oh my God. It must feel like home because you've got Venus in the 4th house. Venus is love. 4th house is home, family, your foundations and everything. And you're on a Venus line that is exactly conjunct. And then your Jupiter in the 1st, luck, growth, and expansion of self. Of growing yourself in a way that maybe 20 years ago, nobody would have thought. I mean, were you doing this 20 years ago?
No, I wasn't.
Complete change.
So, yeah,
complete change. And then, but Patricia already knows this because she does astrology as well. But just because her sun sign is Libra, yes, her communications are in Libra, but she has some Scorpio and some Virgo and some Taurus. And so, again, you have to look at individually. And plus, Patricia doesn't live anywhere near she was born, so she has a different rising sign. So we got to look at that. And then in the human design chart, I'm looking to see whether you're here to work or whether you're here to come up with ideas. So Patricia's here, PK's here to work. Patricia and I are not. We're here to come up with
thanks
ideas.
A lot.
I'm sorry, sweetie. I am sorry. Well, that's because you're a manifesting generator, and you've got sacral energy. People who have sacral energy have consistent ability to keep working. We will have an idea and we might work on it for half an hour and then we get bored and we have to go off somewhere else and do something else. So that's why I always work with either manifesting generators or generators if I'm doing a class. Because I need them to do
Chanel
that.
is a projector.
They have to do the work.
Who is?
Chanel is a projector.
So that's great, but that's neither of you've got sacral energy though. So you need somebody with sacral energy, a generator or a manifesting generator. It's like Patricia and I used to go to, we used to do parties together. Now I would be the one invited and I'd call Patricia and say, I've got a party to do. You want to come with me? But I was relying on her. make sure you've got your cards, make sure you've got this, make sure you've got that. You know, she was always the one to be organized about it. You know, she was always the one to make sure we had everything that we needed.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. It worked perfect for us because she's good at that and I'm
Right.
not.
Yeah.
But, you know, so in my readings, I look at and then I do cards as well. So, and I'm happy to answer any questions. And
So
usually,
people will contact you through your phone, which we mentioned earlier.
but better they can get that information from my website, which is Astrologer Dawn. Yeah.
AstrologerDawn.com.
Right. Everything's there.
Yeah, they can get all my information is there. Plus, there's something free that you can get when you sign up for my newsletter, which I send out once a month, and I also do new moon wishes once a month. And then I sent out something today to say about today. I noticed that our first caller, who wasn't able to stay on the line, is one of my old clients from Arizona. So
we were talking away, and then we went back together. And
I know. It happens. Unfortunately, it happens. It does happen. But yeah, I look at your whole life, not only who you are you spending time being who you are? And if not, what's standing in the way of that, you know? And it's usually conditioning. We've been conditioned to believe certain things, you know, children should be seen and not heard. You know, we get told, especially as women, we get told all kinds of messages when we were younger.
Oh,
well, and so
yeah,
we got to remove those because it was they worked for us for a while, but they don't work for us anymore.
No.
And so, you know, in my coaching practice, which is different than just a reading, we work on things like that, about changing your belief system into your belief system rather than somebody else's belief system.
Right.
You know, when
don't you think too, Dawn, I know we've got to wrap up really soon here, but women are taught to pay attention to other people, not to themselves.
Exactly.
And I think that's one of the biggest problems that we face. We really have to reverse that energy so that the attention goes on us so we can become who we're supposed to be.
And that's easier for you and I because we're manifestors.
Yeah.
So we don't like to play by the rules anyway. You know, we're less rule.
I know both of you, and I agree.
I was going to say, if my mother is listening to this, because she would have received it, she'll be saying the same thing. Dawn never listened to any rules. And it does, you know, how we were brought up. You know, the conditioning that we had. I remember when I was 11, joining 11 churches in one day, and came home and told my mom, and she was like sitting reading the newspaper on the couch. Oh, that's nice, dear. Like that was it. You know, it wasn't a big deal. It just wasn't a big deal. It was like, oh yeah, I expected to do something like that. You know, and I thought everybody's mother was psychic. I didn't realize.
No, it was just ours.
Yeah. I grew up with going with my mom and the aunts and cousins to see Mrs. Brown. I never saw her because I was a kid, but all of the aunts and the cousins who were old enough would go see Mrs. Brown. And, you know, and she was a psychic who read cards for people. And I knew that, you know, I knew that growing up. So I thought that was natural. I thought that was normal.
Great.
You know?
Yeah.
So, to me, it's not normal not to listen to your intuition. It's like
true. It's a hard lesson for people to learn, though.
It is. And different people have different intuitions, which I can also find in your chart. Yeah. So Patricia and I are both splenic. Splenic is the small, still voice that speaks only once. Patricia is solar plexus. She has to sleep on things. Big decisions, she has to sleep on things. Okay. Because her intuition will show up more clearly in the morning. If she hears it in the afternoon, it's like, that's interesting. Not sure how I feel about that. Go to sleep. She'll know how she feels. Her intuition in the morning will go, this is the answer.
Dawn, unfortunately, we've run out of time. We've only got 30 seconds left. Everybody go visit Dawn at astrologerdawn.com. Get your own reading. Get the insight you need to have a better life. And we'll be back next week with another great show. Until then. We'll see you on the Blue Highway. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, and thank you.